I had opened this tab of quotes from Charles Darwin's diary while he was aboard the HMS Beagle. This voyage he went on in this ship was kind of crucial to him becoming the scientist he was going to become and ending up writing The Origin of Species. Of course, I'm not interested in that. I'm here for all of the dirt he writes in his journal because I need to know the drama that's happening on that boat.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to 500 Open Tabs. I'm Kaveh Taherian.
And I'm Hannah Hillam. Welcome back.
Hi, everybody. We are in beautiful, sunny, lush, humid, green. I mean, it is green, but, you know.
It is very green. Seattle.
Lush, bright, upbeat.
Sure. That's what I always think of when I'm in Seattle.
Tech-free.
Let's just say I understand Nirvana. I understand the serial killers up here. I understand why it all happened. All right?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, dark. Maybe we should take all that out because I do love Seattle.
Some of our favorite musicians. I was about to say, I'm like, we're in Seattle right now at the time of this release, not seeing Jerry Cantrell, unfortunately, because that was last year. But that was a lot of fun.
That's right. You and then like me and then our cousins who were like decades younger than us.
Yeah. And I was like, between me and my cousin who's half Persian, we were like the only non-white people in that entire venue. And I don't say that as like hyperbole. I think it's pretty much guaranteed that
every single person
everybody else was a white person there. It was kind of funny.
But they were a different brand of white people.
They were. You know I didn't feel unsafe. It was just funny that we were like, I don't think I'm like,
they're
I've been
to
some
die.
super white spaces, but I was like, this is a seriously white space. I didn't realize
new
brown people either don't exist enough in Seattle or they just don't like Jerry Cantrell. Love Alice in Chains, love Jerry Cantrell. Anyway, this is not about that, but the point is,
whatever.
We're in Seattle right now for Emerald City Comic Con.
Come see us.
City.
Our Sally, I just said. Artist Alley.
Our Sally, come see our Sally. We have a friend named Sally.
Sally.
She's here. She's at the table. She's ours.
I don't think she wants to be here.
No one wants to be where we are, obviously, Hannah. Don't you know that? We don't even want to be where we are. We're the biggest haters.
Comic-Con.
No, I'm saying I don't want to be anywhere. What is the joke? I don't want to be in any room that would have me as a member. I don't want to be in a member of any club that would have me as a member. I don't know. I forget. Someone said that.
That's I actually fully agree with that.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't trust
Sally
that.
Agrees. Yeah.
You want me here? I don't know.
Yeah. USC's credibility went once I got accepted into their program. Anyway,
I've never heard of them.
Artwork.
Yeah, so come visit us. We're in Artist Alley. We'll draw stuff for you. At this point in the economy, I will literally draw whatever you want, whatever animal.
Anyway, we're here.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
We're here.
We're excited. We have all kinds of new stuff, and we'll show it to you. But other than that, is there stuff that you wanted to talk about before we get into your tab to talk about tabby things?
No, anything for you? Any updates?
No. Just everything's terrible. People in Iran are still not free, I assume. We're recording this early, but I don't think they're going to be free anytime soon. So free Iran. That's all I have to say. Anytime anyone asks me, like, how's it going? Free Iran's the first thing I say.
Yeah, dude. It's like if you know me or you follow
free Iran.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, not since the last episode, I don't think.
Everybody go share the art he's done for Iran and
you sent me a cool one.
Dude,
yesterday.
You gotta go.
That was awesome.
You have to follow that person.
I did.
It was a picture of like this, like a traditional. It looked like a traditional, like Persian miniature painting of these two women's
name. I need to look her up. I need to remember her name.
So good.
I was like, oh, that made me want to like burn something like in a cool way.
Yeah.
Her name was Naz Painting, Naz Painting, all one word, Persian miniature. Iranian artist based in Rome. Shout out. That cool. That was cool as shit.
Yeah, it like gives you a feeling of like, oh, I want to go on. Let's do this. Like, you just have to go see it. Just go look at it. I think they were maybe not. We can't. I don't know. What were they? Were they killing him? They were killing.
Yeah, they're like lampooning him with a pole, and then they're smoking a cigarette with a picture, using his picture on fire.
And they're completely naked. That's the best part. They're just like, I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna wear any clothes.
It's awesome.
Anyway. Yeah,
love it.
It's gotta follow her. Go follow that person. But yeah, should we get going?
Yeah, as we like to say now in front of every episode, which I just invented right now. Hannah, it's mime time. Let's do this.
We invented that last time. It's mime time.
We didn't do it at the beginning of the episode.
Let's roll out, boys.
it's mime time. Let's roll out, boys. It's mime time.
It's like Transformers, but they're mimes.
Or it could be Goonies. Like, it's mime time down here, up there. You don't know Goonies. I
saw it once. Anyway, so my tab today.
Yes, go ahead.
Ready for some true mimery that happens?
Yeah,
no.
If this is not mime related, I'm going to be deeply disappointed and yawn through your whole
get ready to be really upset for not just that reason, but also because we're talking about a couple of Englishmen today.
Okay.
One of them being somebody we all know, Charles Darwin. And don't worry.
I'm trying to contain the rage.
Do you trust me?
50-50, let's say.
You got to trust me with this one. It's bonkers, okay? Don't worry. We're not even going to be in England. You're going to be okay. Before I get into this part about what got me reading about this is that I watch Deadliest Catch with Sean all the time. It's about those crabbing boats up in Alaska. And everyone, you got to chill, bro. It's going to be okay.
I'm keeping it inside.
Say it. Just say it. Get it out. Get it out.
No, I'm being a
good. Of course,
I'm
choose
miming.
The English person.
I'm miming being a co-host.
You're miming being a person at this point. Okay, so we've been watching Deadliest Catch, and these guys on these crabbing boats go out there for like 3 to 4 weeks at a time, and they get in like fights, and they hate each other, and they're always at each other's throats, and they're pure drama.
You gave me crabs. Yeah, they're all fighting about each other.
They all have crabs. There's like people punching each other. There's people getting their hands cut off.
Yeah, it's the point of it. Yeah, they're getting their hands cut off.
Yeah, that show's brutal, dude. It's the most dangerous job.
Not
in the
like
world.
As punishment, like on the job. Not like they're like
accidentally.
They're like, oh, you stole like an apple from the market in Aladdin. We're gonna chop your hand off.
Exactly, pretty much. And all these men are always just
like your face.
Get out of my wheelhouse! Get out of here, you asshole! And like just stuff like that, where and then they like mess up, and then they get their hands get cut up.
Fishing was supposed to be like a relaxing, like father-son, like fun thing.
Oh, this is father and son, but they all hate each other, and it is pure tension. And like 3 of them have had heart attacks. Anyway, I'm obsessed with this show because it truly is like anthropology, and I'm watching it. I'm like, wow, men like wars make sense to me now.
The store, correct?
The store?
Anthropology.
Ugh.
These guys are like, oh, you took my $70 soy-based wax candle. These fishermen who are all fighting each other with their hands chopped off like to go shopping at Anthropology when they come back to port.
I could see them doing that.
That's why they're making money, is to be able to feed their addiction of shopping at Anthropology. That's the story I'm telling myself.
Crabbing in the day, Anthropology at night. Anyway, so crabs, these guys... Yes. The amount of crab, I've learned so much about Alaskan crab fishing. I know the rules. I know the history. I know everyone's names. Yeah, you
about
can't,
like how much you're allowed to. Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, it turns into a freaking bloodbath, and one guy will get all the crabs. Not fair. So they have.
Interesting. There's like crab democracy, crab communism.
A little bit, and they all kind of like love-hate each other.
Crab
it's
regulations. Okay.
Crabulations.
500. That sounds like a
congratulations,
but to a crab rather than like a regulation.
They deserve it. They do a lot. They scuttle on the ocean floor. Congrats. That's a big deal.
Crabs. Yeah.
Congratulations. Okay. Watching that and watching all these men just like fall apart and be drama. It reminded me of this tab I had open that I'd opened up when I was reading about Mark Twain hating the post office.
I remember that one. That was a good episode. That was episode number
55.
Beep.
Alyssa's voice can be on top of that. She can just weigh in.
Good. Thank you. More work for Alyssa. And so I remember like, wait a second. I know a couple of guys who almost killed each other on a boat. And so I
literally
went back to
every man that's ever been on a boat with another man, basically. That could be literally every time sailing has ever happened.
Dude, sailing is insane. Yeah, turns out when you get on a boat and then stay on the boat for like years, you turn into a monster sometimes.
Yeah, almost like we're not meant to be on the ocean, but we're meant to be on land. Almost like we're designed for not that.
We left the ocean. Also, we're not supposed to be in the air either. Exactly. That's the bird zone. The bird zone, and I think we should ask permission to go in the air. And I think I don't like the air.
Yeah, I don't like any of it. I mean, I like being in the water, but I don't like being in the deep ocean. I'm not into that.
No, we're not supposed to be out there. But look, crab in life is for
them's the ropes.
That's how it goes. Them's the ropes. And be careful of some of the ropes because they might cut your hands off. Okay, so
that's my crab hands. I'm hoping that a giant Alaskan crab chops off someone's hand with their crab claws.
I'm sure it'll happen. I hope it's me.
Yeah.
I honestly do it. I dare you. So,
to all the crabs listening to this podcast.
This tab Please, crabs. I know Alaskan king crabs and opelio crabs are all listening, and maybe even bear-eyed crabs.
Where's opelia? Is that something
You'd
to do with
know
Alaska?
if you knew what crabbing was.
I don't know anything about crabbing. I don't have crabs.
I like to just pretend like I know more. Anyway, there are kinds of crabs. Doesn't matter. So I had opened this tab of quotes from Charles Darwin's diary.
Okay.
While he was aboard the HMS Beagle. Are you familiar with the HMS Beagle?
Giant dog boat?
I know. That's what it sounds like. They just rode on a boat. A dog boat.
Yeah, a dog in the water. It sounds like very Miyazaki right now. Like the inverse of Miyazaki. Instead of a cat bus, it's a dog boat.
And it's way less awesome.
And it's a beagle. Yeah. It's very
And it
awkward.
drowns.
Yep. Do beagles drown? I was like, beagles can swim? No?
If anyone swims that long, they're going to drown.
Oh, true. Anything. Yes, I agree. I did not immediately go to like the dog drowning. I guess that's what you want to do for our listeners. I was trying to make it fun and playful. You want to kill the beagle.
I don't want to kill the beagle. I'm simply being realistic. If I put a beagle in water and tell it to sail me to South America, it's going to die.
It's about a beagle boat. It doesn't need to be realistic. We can make it. We can have it run for Congress. It can do whatever it wants.
It's got my vote.
Palette, yes.
Do you think it's on the Epstein list?
No, it couldn't swim all the way to Epstein Island. It's too far.
It would drown before it gets to Epstein.
How about this? Let's best of both worlds. The beagle boat that tried to go to Epstein Island drowned because it deserved to drown because it was trying to go to Epstein Island. But all the other beagle boats that did not go to Epstein Island continued to live and were rewarded for not being on Epstein Island. Why? I hate everything. It's all I hear is just is Epstein stuff right now, and I'm like. I
can't. I've blocked it. I can't look at any of it. I'm like, I don't want to be traumatized right now. Thanks. So I'll read a journal from 200 years ago. So
perfect.
The journal, he kept a very intricate journal because this voyage he went on in this ship was kind of crucial to him becoming the scientist he was going to become and ending up writing The Origin of Species.
Sorry, you have to reorient me right now, and maybe you've established this and I'm missing it.
Probably not.
Where is this? Because I got hyperfixated on a beagle boat.
I know.
So
did I.
When is Beagle Boat Ride in relation to The Origin of Species? Is this like on the way to...
This is like 20 years before.
Okay. So this is nothing to do with evolution or anything. This is he's a young chap here, or younger.
He is 22.
Oh my goodness.
So
he's
this
a baby.
22-year-old, probably...
Just old enough to drink.
Beardless Charles Darwin.
Oh, he doesn't even have a beard. Gross.
I know. Just soft. As they say in The Deadliest Catch.
Sunny Seattle? Oh, okay.
A greenhorn.
A greenhorn.
I'm
Why
now
is
a
the
crabber.
horn green?
I don't know. Because it dipped it in green paint.
I
don't know.
Algae on it and stuff?
Probably.
Okay. Anyway, whatever.
Do you think I know any of this?
You just claim to be an expert on all things crabs.
I only know vague things about everything.
500 open crabs.
500 open crabs. Anyway, so a lot happened. A lot happened on this journey. It shaped him as a person and scientist and led to the theory of evolution. His observations did. And much of it we've already learned in school, but like the Galapagos turtles and stuff, you know, that whole thing.
Galapagos. Yes, of course.
Galapagos turtles and the birds whose beak fit perfectly in the flower. And he was like, whoa, those things evolved to be, you know.
Yeah.
And also he found all those fossils of giant sloths that he was like, wait, there are regular sloths nearby. And started, putting two and two together. And of course, I'm not interested in that. Okay. I'm not here for any of the science. I'm here for all of the dirt he writes in his journal because I need to know the drama that's happening on that boat. So
I see.
This is about what's happening. Did you just like tune out? I know this is about an English guy. You just got to hold on.
What are you talking about? No, I was here. I just was moving my seat.
I did the thing where I saw a micro expression and I decided what it meant.
No. I got distracted because my chair slid a little bit and I was trying to have myself not slide all the way. And I was trying to not distract you while that happened and shit a lot of good that did.
Look, I can't even yawn in front of you. I've learned how to yawn with my mouth shut and my eyes open, by the way.
I still see you do it every time, by the way. I can always tell.
I hope you drown on the beagle that takes you to Epstein Island, okay?
Joke's on you. I can swim better than a beagle boat.
Yeah, probably me too. We think it's a giant boat? Of course it's a giant boat. What am I talking about? We're in it. Okay.
Yeah.
Never thought we'd talk about an actual beagle.
I'm not going to Epstein Island, even if the beagle boat tries to take
I'd
me
rather
all the way.
kill myself
Yeah, I'd
on
rather
the way.
drown.
Absolutely not. I'd go. The only reason I'd go there is to burn the whole place down.
Oh, I was going to say, I was about to say, I'm like, to save people would be fun. Like you go and you just kill everybody on Epstein
Rescue,
Island,
yeah.
and then save them and then put them on the beagle boat. And then the beagle boat gets
doesn't
redeemed.
Die. Yeah. It turns around at the very end. It's a beagle.
It doesn't even know what child molesters are. He's just a dog. He's an innocent dog. Why did we bring the dog into this? The dog doesn't understand.
I can't stress this enough, but you brought the dog into this.
Charles Darwin brought the dog into this by going on the SS Beagle or whatever the hell it was called.
HMS Beagle.
KMS Beagle? What was it? Yeah.
The KMS. Honestly, you're not far off. There is a part of this where it may as well be the KMS Beagle. Okay.
Okay.
So all the sciencey stuff, throw that out the window. We're going to talk about Charles Darwin.
We are here for the drama.
And his relationship with the captain of this boat. Okay.
Ooh.
Robert Fitzroy. Now these
Hate
boys.
him already.
No.
Bobby Fitz. No, we like Bobby Fitz.
I don't know.
Okay.
Charles Darwin didn't even know if he liked him.
Oh, I see.
He's one of those people who are just like, what are you?
Yeah.
People have wondered, but I don't think so. I actually would love that they were. They became like brothers. They probably kissed.
They kissed on the Beagle boat.
I can't do this. You do this every time.
Bisexual Beagle boat boss. It's literally the bisexual beagle boat boss. Beagle boat boss. Bisexual beagle boat boss.
Bisexual beagle boat boy bosses. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So our boat boys, Bobby and Charlie. I've lost my spot. Give me a second. It's funny. This new format is way easier to just absolutely derail each other.
It's
because
true.
You're not thinking about what you have to do next.
You know what? That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have to focus. I'm like, no. I'm just here to destroy everything. I don't care.
Clown.
Yeah.
The clown that you are.
You are how every one of my teachers growing up K through 12 felt.
Unlike them, I feel invigorated right now.
That's true. You didn't throw me out into the hallway.
This feeds me.
Yeah.
Oh, we would have been a nightmare in class together.
We are a nightmare on a podcast and to far more people.
But they can't put us in the hall. You guys can't put us in the hall.
Yep.
Okay. Beagle boat. So.
Beagle boat. Big bad beagle boat.
I'm going to talk over you. So who was this guy?
You're learning. Yes. Thank you. Who is this guy? Bobby Fitz.
So Bobby Fitz and Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin, I didn't know this, was kind of a drop, like a burnout.
Yeah.
Like a slacker burnout. So he was, I wanted to know what made him angry, what made him write these things, what made him like happy.
Because he didn't have a beard. What was it? That's why. He's 22 years old and smooth-faced.
Ew. And how did a college dropout rich kid burnout end up as the sidekick and best friend to an emotionally volatile and problematic Navy captain with a heart of gold?
That sounds very... that makes sense, though, honestly.
Before that, we got to talk about Darwin, though. So he was born to a rich family in Shrewsbury, England, right? 1809. Shrewsbury.
Where's Shrewsbury?
I don't know. I didn't look it up. He came from a long line of scientists.
Everything about England.
If I had to guess, it would probably be...
It's my special interest. I know where Shrewsbury is in relation to the bog.
There's so many bogs.
That wasn't a very good impression. I should work on that.
That was
one.
Good, yeah.
You know what?
You got to dial it in. You got to learn more about England so you can really make fun of them. Because right now it's just beans on toast.
Hannah. I'm from Shrewsbury. No. I'd like some Shrewsbury jam. Did you know that Charles Darwin used to eat Shrewsbury jam?
So Charles Darwin.
Beans and toast.
We gotta diversify from beans and toast. There's gotta be something better.
The English need to diversify from beans and toast. It's not my fault.
They have.
What? Jellied eel? That's it?
Okay. I found out that jellied eel is only eaten in one part of London.
Where?
Whatever.
Oh, only one part. It's
the
regional.
East side. It is.
Oh, sorry. Fish and chips.
What were we saying?
I don't know.
You were
talking about how much you love schnozberries. That's where Charles Darwin's from.
I wasn't ready for like the actual like mental and emotional gymnastics I'm going to have to do with like you being open to you being like unleashed, you know? His father was super worried about him because he was kind of this slacker kid. And he's like, Charles, you should be a doctor like me and like your grandpa, because his grandpa was also a scientist. Charles sucked at school, sucked at motivation, and he disliked the medical field. And he's like, I don't want to do this. So he kind of almost dropped out of college. And his dad was like, bro, get it together. And so he witnessed surgery at college and then almost passed out and threw up. He was like, I want to like blood. He had a professor at Cambridge who was his mentor, who actually ended up getting along. They would go like look at rocks and birds together, which is what Charles did in his free time. And his dad was like, stop looking at birds. You've got to be a doctor. And he's like, no. And his dad's like, how about you be a church person, like a clergyman? And Charles was like, fine, sure. And so he graduates as like a church person. And he kind of decided to just keep go on these like geological trips around England and Wales and just like look at more rocks. So he was on tour in North Wales looking at some more rocks and birds. And he gets this letter from his old professor who's like, by the way, there's this doctor. No, what? Say it.
Can't believe his dad wasn't supportive of him just going out and staring at rocks with some other old man.
Yeah. Some other father figure that he needed. Yeah.
He's just like, cool. My son's been manipulated by some weird, creepy old guy who just wants to look at rocks together, not even study them. Just be like, what are you, high? He probably thought he was doing drugs.
Well, he would get into these trance states like Darwin would when he just would like go into big brain mode. Anyway, his old professor's like, Charlie, Darwin, there's this captain of this ship called the HMS Beagle, and I know him, and he needs a friend, literally a friend.
A friend.
Because the captain, Robert Fitzroy, had actually suffered the loss of his predecessor, Captain Pringle Stokes, to suicide after Pringle was left. Sorry. After
it literally
Pringle
was the KMS Beagle.
This isn't even over. The KMS Beagle, Pringle Stokes was alone for too long on there doing a surveying trip, and he ended up really sad. Before Fitzroy, who was also prone to depression, started on his next journey, he was advised to bring along a naturalist next time to keep him from being so crazy and isolated.
You know who would make you feel really good while you're on the ocean is the guy who loves staring at rocks and getting into a transcendent state.
Well, here's the thing. Fitzroy also liked staring at rocks. Yeah. This was like his special...
You shouldn't be staring at rocks too long. He's a ship captain. You need to get away from the rocks, bro.
He likes
dangerous.
Birds, too.
Yeah.
And fish.
Only thing that he needs to be looking at is water with nothing in front of him.
He was actually a water scientist, pretty much. Like,
a water
you could tell
scientist?
The weather. Not really, but I could see the weather by the water patterns. Anyway, so here's a quote. It says, in September 1831, he was informed by the Admiralty that a savant had been found.
Oh.
Grandson of the well-known philosopher and poet. So he's like this like rich boy from like a famous family. And he's
Nepo
like, yeah,
baby.
bring him on.
Yeah,
bring him on.
The Nepo baby who likes looking at rocks.
And they're like, he's not actually a great scientist, but he does like some stuff.
But his grandfather is very famous.
Yes. And he's like, dude, if he can be my friend, I'm happy and I won't kill myself. So Darwin was like Fitzroy's emotional support animal.
I see.
On this boat. So he was just keeping him from...
Or like a sober companion, you could say. That'd be a little bit more fitting. Yeah.
Yeah. He did help him a lot. And he wanted him to be a good companion. And so, of course, Darwin's like, yeah, I need to get out of...
Wait, so it's just the two of them on the boat. There's nobody else.
That's what everybody thinks, because they romanticize it as like these two men on this boat. There was 75 people on that boat.
What the shit? Just nobody on that ship was cool? They couldn't talk to any of them?
You could, but like when you're working on a ship, it's like constant all day, every day. And if you're the only one on there that's surveying and actually doing like the science part of it, I guess you can like, I don't know, get super depressed. Anyway, Darwin's dad was like, you're not going on a boat with some guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't let my son who stares at rocks go on some boat with like a weird, lonely old guy whose predecessor killed himself.
They're the same age. No, he's 25.
Oh, they're the same age?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So he's this young, he joined the Navy when he was like 15.
Wow.
Fitzroy did.
It's kind of late, but sure, yeah.
Yeah, he should have been like 12. But then his uncle was like, brother, you have to send your deadbeat son somewhere.
Yeah.
And right now he's doing nothing but walking around the mountains of Wales looking at rocks and birds. So put him on the boat and see what happens. Yeah. And so he's like, fine, sure, whatever. Before I get into everything, before I get into this journey, I want to make sure I point out some of the issues this trip also brings up.
Problematic.
First of all, this was during a time when Victorians saw the world as a bunch of stuff that they could collect and keep and categorize.
Like people.
Like people. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing was sacred, and everybody besides the Europeans were savages waiting for their saviors to educate them. Mm-hmm. It was really gross.
Wow,
and
lots changed since then, Hannah.
Right,
certainly not the case now.
So Darwin was an abolitionist.
Okay.
But he certainly did not see people as equal. He didn't see them. It was one of those of the time things where they're like, no one should be slaves, but also these people shouldn't be working in, universities or like be mixing with us. So he was racist, and he used his survival of the fittest concept to kind of support the inequalities of the race and gender and to excuse colonialism a little bit. So problematic boy here, problematic baseball boy, beagle boy.
Beagle boat, bisexual beagle boat boss.
Yes. Racist too.
Yes.
So And I don't want to say, the thing is, for the time, we say this all the time, for the time, he was quote unquote progressive because he didn't think people should be slaves, which is the bare minimum of being progressive, I think. And at this time, European naturalists were like swarming the world because they're like, oh, dude, there's all this stuff we got to catalog and list and bring home and keep. And so Darwin wanted to get in on that because he's like, I like collecting stuff. And, you know.
I like making lists. I'm British. I'm a white person. I need to know people's lineage. I need to know who they evolved from. I need to put it into a book.
Categorize these people.
I need to make sure I have spreadsheets that I'm cross-referencing. Also, for some reason, I need to go online and see who's uploaded yearbook pictures and let everybody know about that.
Wow. I let you know about that.
That was definitely, you were very concerned about the presence of yearbook pictures online. And I'm like, Hannah, why are you doing this? Why are you looking up yearbook pictures online?
Because I went insane. Anyway, so white people in this time being bad, of course.
Yeah, at this time.
We're perfect now. We learned our lesson. But the world was theirs to take as they saw it. And they did it in a gross little like, we're the saviors kind of way.
Past tense. Stop using past tense.
I'm sorry. The world is ours to take. How does that sound? Coming from me. Does that sound like a good clip to be coming from my mouth?
Yeah. We can just put it on the internet. That's going to be our clip.
The world is ours to take.
All the Sydney Sweeney fans are just going to be like, she's the best. This is the best podcast I've ever heard.
Ew. So anyway, all of this, the
be
backdrop
more popular
of
than the Melania film and it's released in theaters.
She can, man. I hope she goes on. I hope the beagle she's on drowns. Let's just say that.
On her way to Epstein Island.
So Charles Darwin was only 22 when he left on the Beagle. And we like to romanticize this idea of this young scientist full of like a brainiac, full of wonder, like discovering new theories.
The lone genius kind of thing, yeah.
But in reality, he was miserable the entire time. And he complained about it the entire time, which relatable. So he traveled to London to meet Captain Fitzroy and prep the Beagle. And he was like, this guy's pretty cool. I like him. And there was like a positive, they had a good time talking and they hit it off. Even though they are completely opposite, like politically and ideologically and everything.
He's I'm pro rock. And the other guy is like, I'm pro water.
I'm pro water. I don't know how this is going to be.
Yeah.
So Darwin later says,
odd couple.
Exactly. I was about to say they're an odd couple. And Darwin later described him like this. Fitzroy's character was a singular one with many noble features. He was devoted to his duty, generous to a fault, bold, determined, and energetic, an ardent friend to all under his sway. He would also go on to describe Fitzroy's faults, which were many. He would have these explosive outbursts. He would have big, long, depressive episodes where he would be unable to captain. He would try quitting all the time because he hated himself so much. And so
this is all ringing very familiar.
Sounds like Meriwether Lewis,
I was like,
or what?
Is he like an artist? What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he a professional artist, cartoonist? What's going on?
A little bit.
Seems like what he should have been doing instead of like sailing a boat around everywhere.
Yeah, he should have been drawing.
Yeah, he should be tabling with us at Emerald City
and turning
Comic-Con,
to look at his friend and going,
Artist Alley. Yeah.
None of this matters. I want to die. Get me out of here. I'm the worst. And then the other one going, it's fine. And then we take turns. Remember that time when you were like, why are you so calm?
Yes. Remember that time when I was drawing and you got mad at me because you were like,
why are you drawing? Well, you're quiet. Why aren't you being annoying to me? Okay, so I'm going to quickly tell you about Fitzroy, okay? And this bonkers man. Fitzy. He had captained the Beagle for a few years before this, and only a few years older than Charles, but he was born into a wealthy family that like traced its line back to kings, inbred. And Robert entered, so our inbred Beagle boy, entered the Royal Navy when he was 13, and then his mom dies. What? Say it.
So you entered at 13, so saying that's the time. That's how you do it.
Yeah. His mom died young. His uncle committed suicide. His family was rife with mental health issues.
Damn.
And then his father soon died after the first expedition he went on. And it put him into a huge depression. Not to mention old Pringle Stokes over there, his buddy.
Yeah.
And although he was responsible for surveying the coasts and waters of South America at the time, he was also deeply interested in weather. He was like obsessed with weather movements and meteorology and highly observant, wanted to learn what Darwin was learning, was kind of like the sounding board for him. Where he was like, yeah, show me the rocks you found, dude. Show me the fossils.
Love rocks.
This is just two boys looking at rocks.
Yeah, rock cast.
Remember the rocks, Charles?
Rocks rock. Yeah.
he gets there and they're like prepping for 2 months. And Charles Darwin's like, this sucks. Why can't we leave? I want to get on this boat and go.
I haven't seen a single rock this entire time. What the
I'm
shit
just seeing
are we
water.
doing?
And Fitzroy's like, I love water.
Awful.
It wasn't until 2 days after Christmas that they finally left. With almost the entire 75-man crew still drunk from Christmas celebrations.
Nice.
Some of them had to be chained
up. That's called a bender.
Yeah. The Christmas
that's a bender. 2 days later, you're still drunk. That's a bender.
Some of them had to be chained up until they
Okay.
sobered up.
Nice.
So Fitzroy was like, you guys are absolutely insane. And Charles Darwin was like,
perfect time to leave. Yeah.
Culture shocked. He was like, these sailors are insane. All I've ever known is just looking at, birds or whatever.
Rocks. This is so unrock of you.
Yeah.
To be shit-faced 2 days after Christmas. Rocks
Where are the
don't
shells?
Do that.
Almost
You're being
immediately.
such a non-rock. I can't deal with this.
Almost immediately, Darwin got seasick. And he would remain seasick on and off for
he wasn't drunk.
the 5 straight years that he was on this boat.
Dear Lord.
And between vomiting, he could hear the captain ordering the flogging of more crew members 3 days in because they were still drunk.
Weird.
Yeah, party. So he lived on biscuits and ravens? Biscuits and raisins.
Delicious. Worked perfectly.
He lived
somehow
on
biscuits and raisins is even worse.
Yeah. He lived on biscuits and raisins. And he had to
No wonder he was depressed for fucking 6 years.
Yeah, he was seasick.
Biscuits and raisins? Biscuits and raisins?
Look,
you're in the ocean. You can fish.
That's true.
Why would you eat biscuits and raisins for you? Why?
He's like, this is delicious. This is a delicacy in my country. Has some slight flavor. I know. Look, none of this is good. He has to live in this tiny little room.
It's almost worse than the racism is biscuits and raisins.
Biscuits and racism. Yeah. Biscuits and raisins. You don't like that?
No. I hate
die?
raisins. For those of you who don't know, my comic,
You hate
The
raisins?
Avocado Chronicles that I did for a couple of years, I had a whole arc of like 50 strips that had to do with the fact that like me and my imaginary friend, which is Guac, the avocado monster, accidentally eat oatmeal raisin cookies. And do you not remember this?
No. I haven't read that for like 3 years. I'm sorry.
It slipped me into a coma, and then I'm on Oatmeal Raisin Island, where the only thing that's available, the only thing that grows on trees is oatmeal raisin cookies, and I refuse to eat for like 10 weeks. It's basically my hell is raisins. No, it was like the central plot line of all that. You would love raisins. You probably love biscuits with raisins too. You're like, I don't like oatmeal raisin cookies.
What biscuits are?
You should know. You're the expert. Your niche interest. What did you call it? Your special
One of my special interests is in like British history.
Your special relationship. You're like Tony, what's his name? Blair and Bush.
Ew.
The special relationship between England.
I want you to know, I made a very distinctive choice to actually go ahead with this tab.
You're like, I'm going to fight him the entire tab.
That I'm going to be dragged through the mud, which is fine. Okay. I knew all of this would happen. I knew it. Okay. But I chose it anyway. And maybe I'm the bad one. How could you do this to me? You made me so miserable.
The abusive relationship. It's like, you made me abuse you, Hannah.
You made me I wouldn't have been to do this if you didn't make me.
You made me talk through your entire tab about how much I hate English things.
Anyway.
Calming down.
I know. This is hard for you.
Don't read history, guys. Every time you read about history, you're just like, nope.
It pisses you off, yeah.
Don't like this entire country. No. None.
And guess what? It always comes back. Here's the thing. We joke about England.
Yes.
We joke about England a lot because they can take it and they should take it because no, I'm serious. Don't get all hurt about it, English people. Look, I love your country. My family's from there. It's time that we get to shit all over you. Okay, it's fine. Do you know how many years you guys ruined the world and also brought some kind of cool stuff to it? There's some good music. There's some good exports, sort of. But like, get over it. If you're hurt by it, then you haven't read your own history, Grow a pair.
I don't think anyone comes into the third season of this show being like,
this is rude.
I don't know about their whole England thing.
Every story we tell, it just like dips right back into something they did. Anyway, Fitzroy is this constantly bouncing back and forth between being highly energetic and gung-ho to being a depressive.
He's just manic.
On the verge of killing himself. 100%. Like there are these
classic symptoms.
And it sounds funny to talk about this crazy, but like he truly had
actually is mentally ill.
Bipolar disorder.
100%. Yeah.
And he wanted to die or he wanted to keep, surveying and
Explore
getting really into,
Right.
So this whole crew, 75-member crew, was kind of at the whims of this man.
This guy's mood, yeah.
Yes. So when he was upset, everyone was like, oh. So sometimes they'd have to just like not go anywhere for a few days. What
an interesting social experiment about how one person should not be in charge of an entire, in this case, crew of people. Yeah. Or one could look at that crew of people as a country or a society.
Yeah.
And you
need some checks and balances.
Yeah.
Which is what Darwin kind of did bring, because after a while they became really like emotionally close, like intimately close. Yeah. Him and Fitzroy, even though they would get into these gigantic fights, because Fitzroy would say things that Darwin was like, "You're insane. Why would you say that?" And then
he'd be like, "I hate biscuits and raisins," and Darwin would be like,
Darwin would be like, "Hold me back." They have to like hold him back. He's like foaming at the mouth, trying to kill him.
Rocks are stupid, and he's just like, "I can't."
But they also like really were interested in each other's like interests. So during this trip,
that's how a relationship can succeed for years and years. It's all it comes down to.
And Fitzroy was like really into the weather, and he was really into observing like how the water looked, and he loved all the birds and collections that Darwin would bring back from his on through the jungle journeys. And he was always like down with it. He was like defending him against the crew, because the crew was really mean to Charles Darwin. Yeah, they were like, you got a bunch of little bottles full of stuff. Like, what is this? A bird? Why do you bring an iguana on here?
You guys go in the other room together and jerk each other's rocks off together.
That's a good joke. What time is it? I have to make sure I don't go over.
Damn. Okay. Thank you.
I appreciate the mania. I feel manic right now, but I feel alive. I feel like Fitzroy. So their whole thing was to go down the coast of Spain and go all the way down over under the Horn or not the Horn, but down under South Africa, not South Africa, South America, and then go up the coast of Chile and then all the way up into and survey it, because the English thought that was what they needed to do. And they just wanted to make maps, accurate maps. And so they get down to South America. And at this point, Fitzroy is like, Darwin, we're about to hit the equator. Yeah. That means it's time for the initiation. And Darwin's like, what initiation? Don't worry. They dress him up as a sea god, the god of the sea, Neptune. And then they dump water all over him.
That's cool.
Some, sailors thing. And so after he gets turned into Neptune, they go down to whatever. And they start getting off in different cities in like Brazil and then in Chile and stuff, and going into the jungles and going into and collecting animals and specimens and bones and fossils, and they're just really hoarding. Like
it's a hoarders episode, but on a boat.
Hoarders, and it's two men who love each other, but also really hate each other sometimes. So
you can't love somebody if you don't hate them, and vice versa.
Right. And so Charles Darwin this whole time is writing in his journal and writing these letters being like, I hate the ocean. I hate bees. I hate animals. I hate the sky. Like, he was so mad at literally everything at all times, because he had a stomach ache for 5 straight years because of bacteria or
biscuits and raisins. That's why.
Biscuits and raisins. So this poor kid filled up with biscuits and raisins, having to walk through these jungles.
Spewing out of his mouth as he's screaming at this paper as he's writing this.
So one of his quotes was, he wrote in a letter, he said, I abhor the sea and all ships which sail on it. And many times he would wish that the ship would just sink because he hated it so much.
Understood.
And he was like,
relatable.
He also really hated certain animals. And so
bees, apparently.
But he didn't like bees. That came later in his life. He was mad at bees. But he hated iguanas, with a burning hatred. He hated
Is there
looking
a reason?
at them. He says that they were clumsy and stupid. And he hated that.
Says the guy who loves staring at rocks and eats biscuits and raisins and just throws up for 5 years straight.
Well, it's funny because Darwin
reminded him of himself. That's why he was so mad.
I was about to say, because Darwin was really clumsy. He was known to drop stuff and
that's like his dad yelling at him in his own mind. Where he's just stupid iguanas. They shouldn't be on a boat with this random guy for 5 years. They need to go to med school. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like he didn't do all these new things. He was all up for doing new stuff and exploring, but he just didn't like any of it. He got mad at it all the time. And I think it was because he was sick and constantly stuck in a room with a manic depressive man. So he was notoriously clumsy, like the iguanas, and he would accidentally drop specimens and trip. And once he even like super embarrassed himself and the whole crew by getting himself tangled in like bolas, which are like the South American throwing rope weapons or whatever. He was always tripping, and one time he was like holding a bunch of beetles, like bugs, and he was like so excited.
He's collecting them, not just
he sounds
like a 6-year-old. He's literally a 6-year-old on this boat. Yeah. Look what I found! And he's got I'm holding a bunch of beetles.
Yeah,
I would absolutely have like clowned on this idiot the entire time if I was a sailor too.
But then they were all afraid of the captain because he's like,
nothing.
Stop.
You're just bringing beetles onto this dumbass boat, and you're weighing us down. And our crazy manic captain can't focus because he's too busy talking about rocks.
100%.
I'm getting so mad at Darwin right now.
They can't make fun of him too much because the captain will be like, "That's my emotional support naturalist."
Also, he's a
Get
nepo
away.
baby. Yeah,
Darwin. I did not know Darwin was a nepo baby. But
idiot. I hate Darwin.
Do you really? Like in general?
Oh, no, I'm just saying in this moment. I don't know. I don't have any opinion about Darwin outside of this moment in this podcast right now. What we're talking about as him, as a person, as a character in this episode.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I don't really give a shit either way.
So he trips all over the place and embarrasses himself. And he had these beetles in his hand and he didn't know he needed to like free up one of his hands. And so he, without thinking, he just put one in his mouth to hold it. And he's
such a clown. Idiot clown. Clown.
It ended up.
He put a beetle in his mouth? What did he think it was? Biscuits and raisins? Oh, don't make fun of the English palate. I'm like, I'm sorry. This guy's literally putting a beetle in his mouth. He couldn't tell the difference because it tasted like English food to him, probably. Oh.
What is this? Biscuits and raisins got me. Kill me. I'm crying. I'm crying. Oh no. I'm crying. Okay, so this idiot puts a beetle.
Cook some biscuits and raisins?
No, I want beetles on it.
Yeah. Can I get some biscuits and raisins on a bed of beetles? Hold the rocks on the side, please. With extra monster. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Oh. Okay, so he puts the beetle in his mouth and it just sprays this hideous acrid fluid into his throat, much like the skunk sprayed. So the crew of the ship was like, this kid dude just ate a beetle, you know, and they called him the philosopher.
Jizzed in his mouth. It just creamed itself inside of his mouth.
Sick.
He's got shot in the back of the throat by a beetle.
You have to stop saying funny things. Stop it.
I'll just leave the podcast. You have to stop saying funny things. You've literally gotten annoyed with me every time I tried to say something funny. And then when I didn't say anything funny, you also got mad at me. I don't know what to do.
Look, at the end of no, just be yourself. At the end of the day, the only person we should be mad at is Charles Darwin, okay?
Darwin's stupid cum-shot beetle mouth filled with raisins and rocks and biscuits. What a disgusting human being. That's probably why the beetle freaked out, because it just saw raisins and biscuits in there and it got angry. And it was like, what kind of bullshit is this? It was offended. Because at this point, they're not even in England, so it wasn't even like an English beetle. It was like a beetle that knew to put spice on its food.
I haven't laughed this hard. I haven't laughed this hard in a while.
Your makeup smearing, or is your eyelash coming off? What's happening?
Oh no, it's my makeup. Okay. Contain yourself, Hannah. So,
okay.
Beetle boy, beetle beagle, baseball bisexual beetle boy.
Takes
some beetle to the throat.
Take some beetle nut.
Beetle.
Shout out Beetle Moses.
I thought of you. I thought of him too. Do you think he was there? No. So back to what he hates. He hates iguanas.
Yes.
And he considers them to be hideous creatures. And
they're
even
literally his dad. Yeah.
The iguana was like, "Son, I'm disappointed," and he would
just sitting again. Now the picture is very clear. He's sitting there with a mouthful of raisins and biscuits and beetle jizz, looking at a bunch of rocks while an iguana has personified his father is yelling at him, telling him that he's a loser because all he does is look at rocks. And then all the drunk sailors are screaming at him while they're chained up because they've been drunk for too many days.
I loved the movie Beetlejuice. I have to calm myself. My mascara is all over my face. Here we go.
Yeah.
So these dad iguanas, he considers them hideous, and he would experiment by throwing them over the side of the boat.
What?
To see if they
some serial killer shit.
To see if they would drown, and then getting really annoyed that they were stupid enough to then swim back to him.
What? What is wrong with Charles Darwin?
He is stuck on a boat. Okay, he called the iguana they called them lucky idiots. When they went to Australia, he thought it was a useless continent and the landscape offended him. And he called the Falkland Islands wretched. Oh, and also he went to St. Helens, like the island where Jonathan the tortoise lived, and said that everyone there sucked. And
Jonathan wasn't there at that time?
He absolutely was.
Oh, he was at that time.
Yeah.
Yes. Charles Darwin, the origin of species, the man who came up with the idea of evolution, alleged friend to animals everywhere by coming up with this unifying theory, hates everybody that's on the island.
People, every person.
Oh,
he doesn't like the people. He complained about the cultures of different places constantly, which was like, buddy, not looking good.
There's no ranch dressing here, but no, in his case, it's like there's no biscuits and raisins here. I hate this culture. These beetles are too spicy.
The only thing I liked is the beetles.
Yeah.
He did eat whatever people fed him, so he tried like puma. He ate puma, and he said it tasted like veal. His favorite was this little rodent that he ate in Argentina that tasted really good. So he likes eating rats or whatever. I can't remember the name of the rodent.
Guinea pig or some shit like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So when they were in Brazil, though, this is one of the biggest fights he and Fitzroy got into. It was the first time he'd ever witnessed slavery, Darwin.
Darwin did, okay.
He was appalled, understandably. And so he was like, this is horrible. And Fitzroy did the whole thing where it's like, well, at least they're people who own them are kind to them. And, the thing people still say today about.
Sure.
He's like, yeah, they like being slaves. And Darwin was like, I'm leaving this boat. I quit.
Nice. Well, at least he's got some morals at this point.
There's a little bit.
Good.
His mouth overflowing with beetles. She's like, I'm getting off this boat.
Stop spitting raisins at me, Charles, and relax.
So they get into this screaming fight. Fitzroy was like, fine, leave. If you can't see my point of view, then you can't be on this boat. And Charles Darwin was fine.
We really need to listen to the other side, Hannah. We need to hear.
Yeah.
We need
to
listen.
Does Fitzroy
we
feel?
need to bridge the gap between people who think slavery is appropriate and those of us who are apparently too reactionary and emotional who don't like slavery, okay? We need to have a dialogue together.
Absolutely insane. It's both sides are worth listening to.
You're a little too aggressive with your distaste of slavery
Why are you getting violent about it?
Yeah. Wow. I'm trying to talk to you like a rational human being and you're just giving me ad hominem attacks.
Ugh.
Both sides are bad. Opinion,
I wish that this
piece
were
printed by the New York Times in the 1800s.
Right. Dude, the New York Times, So they ended up like screaming mad at each other. And before nightfall, Fitzroy ended up being like, hey, dude, I'm really sorry. That was out of line. We just can't talk about slavery anymore. And Darwin's like, okay, fine.
Agree to disagree about human slavery.
Yes, they had to do that to get.
Okay.
I know. So Darwin he would write these letters being like, this dude's insane. And then he'd write one being like, this dude's my best friend. So it just really depended. And it didn't sound healthy.
No.
And during his depressive states, Fitzroy would get paranoid that he was going insane, just like his uncle and his family that had other mental health issues, and that he was scared he would kill himself. He would lay in bed, unable to captain. He tried to quit. Darwin talked him down. Healthy relationship stuff.
Yeah.
And they were often at odds on evolution. So Darwin at this time was like having the big brain ideas of like, hold on, maybe we weren't created by God out of nowhere. Maybe, and Fitzroy was like, I don't want to hear any of that. Don't you dare say any of that on my boat. And he's like, that's what I'm doing on your boat. And so they like loved, hated each other. And the differences became even more so after they returned to England 5 years later. And he published The Origin of the Species in the 1850s. And they clashed constantly. They fought constantly. Fitzroy took it deeply personally. Again, on the wrong side of history, buddy. They'd even stay with each other, but they'd just get into fights. And finally, Darwin had to distance himself from Fitzroy. And he said, "I never knew in my life so mixed a character. Always much to love, and I once loved him sincerely, but so bad a temper, and so given to take offense, that I gradually quite lost my love, and wished only to keep out of contact with him." Which, I mean, I'm with Darwin on this one.
Yeah, no. Which one of us has not had to cut a friend out as we've gotten older? People that we've been...
Self-care.
I can think of a couple. I think of a couple of examples of people who I was like,
oh yeah,
we're bros till like the end of time, and I'm like, I haven't talked to this person in years, and I don't feel bad about it because it was the right move.
I have several people like that too, where it's like,
unfortunate.
I don't even owe them my explanation.
Nope.
Anyway, what struck me about all these letters and these diary entries and stuff was that, like, we hear so much about this guy, Charles Darwin, being like this big brain dude. And really, he was just an angry, miserable, sick to his stomach, headachy 22-year-old who loved collecting things. And through that, he got a bunch of ideas and came back and applied them. And now we have On the Origin of Species. And I think that's kind of crazy that just some dumb kid was like...
from anywhere.
It was some Nepo baby who was on a boat for fun as like a hired friend.
Wow. Hannah's whole tab was just about like, don't be mean to Nepo babies because they can provide value to society.
Sure, Jan. We'll see. And Fitzroy ended up becoming the second governor of New Zealand.
Okay.
And
interesting.
He got kicked out of that. He got kicked out of that position because he was trying to protect the Maori lands, which... The
guy who thought slavery was awesome was also trying to protect... Wow. Complicated character indeed.
Very. And so he was like fighting for the Maori because he was like, all these people are all the land hungry English down here keep taking their land. And he was like, I'm going to help the Maori. And everyone was like, I hate that. Get out. And so he was like, fine, I'll go back to England and become a weather scientist. And he like he coined the term forecast. And he was able to make accurate weather predictions. So like sailors wouldn't die in storms anymore because they could actually like, and the telegraph was new, and so that was how they spread weather news to people all around. And it was like the first time that it was like democratized a little bit, where it's like, look, here's the information, take it, use it how you will. Yeah. And he was plagued by depression his entire life, and unfortunately did end up taking his life in 1865. And Darwin received the news and was devastated because he did consider him a really good close friend. But
how old was he?
He was born in 1805, so he was in his 60s.
Okay.
And you guys can look up how he did it. I'm not going to talk about it on here. But Darwin wrote that, I often doubt what will be his end. Under many circumstances, I am sure, it would be a brilliant one. But under others, I fear a very unhappy one. So he kind of had always known. Meanwhile, Darwin is continuing to write in this journal. And I just want to read some of the excerpts from some of the things he wrote, okay?
Okay.
I hate barnacles, as no man ever did before. I am very tired, very stomachy, and hate nearly the whole world. Which I really loved, that everything has been going wrong with me lately. The work has been turning out badly for me this morning, and I am sick at heart, and oh my God, how I do hate species and varieties. I am very poorly today and very stupid, and I hate everybody and everything. Oh, one lives only to make blunders. I am going to write a little book for Murray on orchids today, and I hate them worse than everything. So farewell, and in Sweden, so farewell. So he hates I feel seen by this kind of Nepo baby scientist. He hates everything. Yeah. And sometimes I'm just like, I hate everything I do. I hate myself. And I just like seeing the humanity in this character that we've heard so much about. And that was a little bit of a scattered tab, but
not my fault. I had nothing to do with it. I was just trying to keep you on track the whole time.
Anyway, that was that's the relationship between those two men on that beagle boat, and
romance.
How the beginnings of the origin of the species started from a seasick, codependent relationship.
Yeah, move over, heated rivalry. Hear about Robert Fitzpatrick and Charles Darwin.
Fitzroy. Anyway.
Fitzroy. Thank you for that tab.
That's it.
How would you like to close them? Would you like to have a drowning iguana that doesn't drown and then it swims back onto the boat and then you have to keep closing it? Yeah.
So we're gonna throw this iguana in the water. Okay.
All right. You ready?
Okay. Ready? Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Overboard.
Okay. did it. All right.
Okay.
Listener mail.
Moving on. Our email is from Kaya from Istanbul.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Hannah, Kaveh, and Alyssa. My open tab is about Sami the chimpanzee, who is known for his escapes from the Belgrade Zoo and negotiations made for his return. Do you know about
Darwin.
Sami the chimp?
No, just Darwin and apes and monkeys. And
in January of 1988, Sami was brought to the capital of Yugoslavia and placed in an enclosure all by himself. 12-year-old Sami became depressed in his cage and broke out for a stroll in downtown 1 month after his arrival. Reports from that period are suggesting his breakout was likely in search of a mate.
Oh, lonely.
Looking for a booty call, yeah.
find
Sami left his
Darwin.
enclosure. Yeah, right. He should have been on a boat eating rocks and beetles. Sami left his heated enclosure to the freezing streets of Belgrade during February and went to a movie in the Balkan cinema, browsed some window shops, then went to Student Square, which is one of the main town squares in Belgrade. Unfortunately, on his way to the famous park, he was cornered by the police, and before he could find any eligible mates.
Sad.
The police did not use any tranquilizers and called the zoo officials. Zoo director Vuk Bojovic, I believe, went to negotiate. After exchanging words with Sami for a while, he managed to convince the chimpanzee, took his hand and said, "Come on, let's go home." Like a hostage situation or something. It's funny. Or like a jumper situation. Yes. But I like that he uses words.
Yeah.
After that, director Bojovic brought Sami into his car while holding his hand and personally drove Sami back to the zoo.
That is so dangerous.
Yeah. After his return, officials stated that a female chimpanzee would cost $10,000 to accompany him. So it was basically that they couldn't afford that. So our boy was doomed to be lonely yet again. But he didn't give up. He started listening to alpha male podcasts and went into an incel far-right pipeline about male loneliness epidemic. Much like our boy Ken Allen, he also had Knuff and escaped just 2 days after his first night out in the big city. In his second escape, he went to the zoo's cafeteria, then to the city streets again. This time, he was cornered, and the event was televised live, and thousands of people came to witness Sami's break for freedom. Some held up placards with slogans such as, "Sami, we're with you, and don't give yourself up, Sami." Zoo director Vuk Bojovic once again went to Sami for negotiations, but this time Sami didn't fall for the empty promises and refused to come down. After the talks failed, officials with newly equipped tranquilizers sedated Sami in short notice. Sami died 3 years after by his own without finding a mate. It's important to note that adult chimpanzees, especially males, are considered aggressive animals and stronger than humans. But during his search for love, Sami didn't hurt anyone or cause any damage. He kept his cool the whole time. Congrats on your third season. See you at the Dickie Nixon's Soviet pool party. Stay Josie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kaya from Istanbul.
What a lovely story, but also kind of sad. This episode's been a lot about lonely men, lonely males.
Lonely men and animals trying to break out, like the beetle that wanted to break out of Charles Darwin's mouth. Animal where it shouldn't be. If you also have an email that you'd like to send us.
It's my turn this time.
Yeah, seriously. Please send it to 500opentabs@gmail.com. That's 500. You can find us on Instagram. We're 500opentabs. We're also on Blue Sky, and Hannah is going to update that page any day now.
Sure. Blue Sky? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can follow me at Hannah Hillam.
And I'm at PermaFriends on Instagram. Once again, if you're in the Seattle area, please come to the convention center and see us in Artist Alley for Emerald City Comic Con. I'll have prints, pins, posters, a bunch of new stuff from since last year. This is the fun part about doing multiple cons, because then you're like, every con I'm like, oh no, I gotta create all a bunch of new stuff, and then I'm like, oh right, I created an inventory for the last 4 cons that I went to that happened after I went to this one. So the people in Seattle haven't seen a bunch of shit that I made and I forgot because I went to other places. So it's cool and it's exciting, and this is why you keep at it for a long time, is because eventually it culminates, it snowballs, and you get more and more stuff that you get to take around. So come see all the new shit that you haven't seen since last year.
It's pretty great. You got some good stuff.
As well.
Sure. Thank you. I'm so sarcastic. Sorry. Yes, thank you. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the KMS Beagle.
On the KMS Beagle. In the meantime, everybody, keep the people of Iran in your hearts. Free Iran.
Free Iran.
And we will see you at the KMS Beagle Boat Boss Bash. Next week.
Bisexual boy bog. Boy bash. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bad sign off.